Imagine if you could remove yourself from your agency's sales calls so that you can focus all of your effort as the founder on growth. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down my 4-step process to remove yourself from the sales process and delegate it entirely to somebody else so that you can focus your time, energy, and effort on the things that matter most. That might be marketing, growth, hiring, the next stage of your business, and or even just more of your favorite hobbies. Now, if you're new here, my name is Greg Hickman. I'm the founder of Alt Agency, and we've helped over 700 agencies and consultancies and service providers to productize their service business and monetize their expertise. And one of the ways we've been able to do that is to really help them create a systematic and repeatable sales process. When I say systematic and repeatable, imagine being able to have like a playbook that you can hand over to someone else on your team so that they can remove you from those duties. That's fundamentally what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be walking you through each and every step of that today. Again, when you can remove yourself, you get to focus on the things that are going to keep your business growing, like building your audience and hiring help to take your business to the next level, better supporting your clients. If you're like me and you have hobbies and you have a family, you also want to be able to go on vacation and watch sales come in because someone else is selling on your behalf. Now, before I get into the 4 phases that will allow you to remove yourself entirely, it is important to mention that sales is usually not the first thing that you are going to delegate inside of your agency or consultancy. I see a lot of agency owners that go hire like a biz dev person to go do lead gen. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person who's going to actually be having conversations with prospects to see if it's a good fit to help them, giving them the demo and the presentation and making sure that they become a client. And in the early days of your business, you are the most qualified person to do that as the founder. Again, I see so many agency owners try to delegate this, and this is the number one thing that's going to drive revenue in your business. So typically what we recommend clients to do, and again, we have other videos on the channel around hiring and what your team should look like, so be sure to check those out. But typically we want to remove ourselves from all administrative tasks first, then remove ourselves from all aspects of client service delivery. Usually that starts with things like onboarding and client support. And in often cases, we'll have our clients get marketing assistant help to, schedule and distribute their content, maybe start helping come up with content ideas, planning ideas for videos like this. But I get to record this video and then hand it off to my team, and it ends up on social media. It ends up published here with the descriptions, with the copy, all of those things, emails scheduled. So the assistant side, the admin side of marketing often also gets delegated before sales. Now, there's obviously some nuance to this depending upon what your skill sets are and what your team already looks like. But again, typically sales is usually one of the last things to delegate. And if you are under $500,000 a year in revenue, you are for sure very still involved in the sales process. And arguably, many will tell you that even up to $1 million, you might be involved to some degree. And so what's interesting about the process I'm going to take you through right now is a couple of years ago, we were growing. We had a sales team of 3 different sales reps with 3 or 4 different appointment setters. And last year, a little bit over last year, we actually scaled our business back to optimize some of our delivery. And I went back to selling. And so this is very fresh for me. And this is the steps that I've gone through again, now the second time, for removing myself from sales. So with that being said, let's dive in on how to do this. And if you are curious about the order in which you should remove yourself from certain things, I highly recommend the book Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. He's a former client and friend. Amazing book. He actually has a similar sequence in how you should remove yourself as well. So don't take it from me, take it from a New York Times bestselling author on how to delegate. So that being said, let's dive in. We call our sales process the consultation engine. We use a consultative selling approach. I'm going to kind of take you through this. Now, all of our clients typically sell a core offering above 5K. We have clients that sell all the way up to 50, 60K for their core offering. So phase 1 is what I call the minimum viable engine. At its simplest, it is a calendar with a brief questionnaire into a discovery call into your consultation, and it's entirely founder led. So let's look at what that looks like visually. So here's the minimum viable engine. I'm going to zoom in and bring you through each piece. If you're doing organic content and you're having conversations, you're going to obviously in the chat want to identify if they're qualified, invite them to book a discovery session. You might send a link to book a discovery session. So they're going to arrive to a page where they're going to book this call picking a time and answering a couple quick questions. If the discovery call is booked, they should get a couple emails reminding them to show up. Version 1, these emails are super simple. Just, hey, reminder, this is what the time of the call is, show up on time, here's how to be prepared, right? There's a few of those leading up to the event. If they attend the event, then you're obviously, as the founder, going to deliver that discovery session. If they are qualified from that discovery session, you are then going to book the second call. We call that a demo. Some people will call that a consult, sales call, whatever you call it. It is a second call. It is important that I should tell you the discovery call is extremely short, 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, but like you should be able to ask specific questions to identify if the person you're talking to is someone you can truly help or not, so that you don't waste your time and you don't waste their time. So from this point, you are seeing if they're qualified for the demo. If they are, you probably want to send them a couple reminders to show up to that call because you're not going to do it the same day. So again, version 1, simple reminders to, hey, don't forget to show up. We're going to be walking through XYZ. Here's how to prepare. Then if they attend the demo, you're obviously going to deliver that call. This is where you're going to be making the offer, most likely. Now, if you make the offer, you should be making the offer a pretty high percentage of the time because you already had the discovery call, so you know they're qualified. So you're probably making offers 60 plus to 80+% of the time on this call because again, you've already vetted if the person is a good fit. So high offer rate coming out of this call. And so from there, if you close them or they won, well, then you're going to start your fulfillment engine here. Obviously, you see that there's paths if they didn't take the desired path. If they don't end up booking the demo, you're going to try to follow up to get them to book, again, assuming they're qualified. Now, if you didn't book a demo because they're unqualified, you can see right up here, they will come all the way around to disqualified or closed or lost, however you want to mark that in your CRM. Now, again, if you've scheduled a demo and they didn't attend, you want to follow up with them to make sure that you get a new time on the calendar, or maybe they ghost and you end up having to mark them lost as well. So you can kind of see from here, the follow-up book a demo brings us all the way around to the DQ and lost. If you don't make an offer, then again, you're probably going to be following up. Maybe the call ran long, the decision maker couldn't make it, and you need to reschedule that call and do a secondary call, a secondary consult, secondary demo. Then you're going to want to have a follow-up process for that. And again, if they, for some reason, are not a good fit, they're going to be disqualified. So that, as you can see, is the entire, we'll zoom back out, sales process. Now, all of the emails that are going out should be pretty simple. And now let's move on to phase 2. So phase 2 is where we're really just optimizing that to make our time as the founder more efficient. After having done a bunch of calls, you should be able to optimize your questionnaire. You're going to probably have ideas as to what sort of content you can give people before the discovery call. And then again, before the demo or consultation. So it's still founder led, but you're going to be optimizing information. So this is where I think there's an opportunity with the pre-discovery content and the pre-consult content to tell them more details about your product or service, who it's best for. I think this is a great stage for you to include the price range. So for example, pre-discovery content that better explains who you best serve, gets them placed into your ecosystem. We have a process called the 5 stages where they come to the call already knowing which stage they're in, and that helps us better diagnose. The pre-consult, this could be a 1-page Notion doc or a Google Doc that explains how your program works. For us, our program is called Navigator, and this could include pricing options, what's included, so that you can come to that demo and a consultation and answer all of the questions. Now, I've gone back and forth over the years on, do I want to include price and do I not? And I often will still include a range. In some cases, I make sure that I'm letting them know the exact price so that I'm not wasting my time. And yes, I know that there's probably some people that will say, never show the price, but I'm over 40. I got a family. I got things to do. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. So if someone balks at the price, like the likelihood of me trying to convince them on the call, like I'm just sort of over that at this point. So I'm trying to be as transparent as I can up front. Now, again, 5-6 years ago, I would try to like be able to give them the whole presentation and then reveal the price, or at least the price range. Different strokes for different folks. I think you should try it, try both ways. I've found it really refreshing to say, hey, look, if we can help, is this something you'd be able to move forward with? Typically working with us looks like a 4-month engagement or a whatever engagement, and it ranges from, $5 to 10 grand. Is that something that, assuming everything checks out, that you would want to move forward? I like having that conversation. And I think all of our clients have really gotten to appreciate that. So that's what I mean. Phase 2, we're really coming now here looking at this process. So again, we're optimizing to better prepare prospects. So really the only difference between phase 1 and phase 2 is now I turned these few boxes purple. And so in the purple boxes, like I said, we're going to improve our questionnaire on our discovery page. We are going to improve our email content that is between the discovery and before showing up for the discovery. So how do we better prepare them? Maybe we want them to watch a video or two. And again, what's the content that they're going to get in the demo show up series? So between discovery and the actual demo or consultation, what can we give them? Let them consume a couple testimonials, hear from other people that have worked with us, and giving them some more details. So outside of that, that's the only real change inside of phase 2. All right. So what does phase 3 include? So phase 3 is actually where we're going to delegate the discovery calls. So again, there's some nuances to what you personally will need to see in order to remove yourself. But for example, if you're consistently having 15 to 20 discoveries per week, let's just say 50% of those, which might be a little high, are going to consult, it's probably time to delegate, because 15 to 20 discoveries equals 4 to 6 hours a week. And another 6 to 10 consults is another 6 to 10 hours a week. So that's turning into 10 to 16 hours a week. I would flex this to as high as possible while I'm still the founder to get our cash flow up, because that cash flow is going to be able to be used to reinvest. So again, the engine is still the calendar questionnaire. We have the pre-discovery and the pre-consult or demo content, but now another person hosts the discovery. Now that person also is going to be providing you a weekly report and end of day reports as to what's happening with these calls. You are still leading the consultation or the demo as the founder, but that means you're likely going to start meeting with your sales rep at least once a week, and probably some sort of monthly one-on-one times every rep that you eventually have. So despite you removing yourself from sales calls or discovery calls, you are going to take back some more time to make sure that you're continuing to train and support the person doing the discovery on your behalf. I think a lot of people overlook that piece, because now you're managing another person, and that person is now the gateway between you guys making money and not. So now that we look at phase 3, you can see the purple boxes that we just had, but now I've added some green boxes. So the green boxes is where the sales rep comes in. They will now deliver this discovery session right here. They will also do follow-up for any person that said they were going to book a demo but then did not. And they'll also probably follow up on people that didn't book their demo. So they went through the demo series and then they didn't show up to the actual consult or demo with you. And you can send your rep to go back to kind of follow up with them. So you as the founder are really only delivering the demo and then following up from if you actually spoke to them and you made an offer or did not, and you need to do another consultation, you would probably manage that follow-up because you've already spoken to them and the relationship has been transferred to you. Now, the creme de la creme here, as always, phase 4 is the founder. You are removed from everything. Again, everything really stays the same. In most cases, that same sales rep who's doing the discovery, I believe, can do the sales call too. You might have an appointment setter and a closer. That's another way to do it. I personally am not going that route this time, but we will eventually probably have more people to do discoveries and fewer advisors to do the sale. But nonetheless, if you have someone doing the discoveries and the consults, you are still, as the founder, training those people, which is going to mean you're going to be doing monthly one-on-ones, at least now, if it's 2 different people, 2 one-on-ones. So that's going to be an hour a month, which is nothing big and is definitely still worth it. And you're probably doing some sort of weekly or bi-weekly sales training and coaching to better support your sales reps, again, because they're selling on your behalf. And so again, now if we look back to the visual workflow and we look down at phase 4, where you are now founder removed, you will see the only difference from 3 to 4 is now that the deliver demo and the follow-up are also dedicated to somebody else. And the rest is all automated systems, right? And manual follow-up from those reps. Here you can see that the 4 distinct phases to slowly remove yourself from sales. First, we optimize, get it efficient as possible, codify as much of those things as we can to then delegate the discovery piece, which again is a 15 to 30 minute tops call to make sure they're a good fit. So we get back a bunch of time on the front end to only talk to qualified prospects, giving us the highest chances to close the deal and enroll the right clients for us, further codifying that process. So in phase 4, we can remove ourselves entirely from the sales process. Hopefully this made sense to you. This is one of the systems that we help our clients install inside of our Navigator program. It is a 4-month experience where we help you productize your service, install the sales system like right here, version 1, and get that going, a delivery process and a marketing process so that you can have your ideal clients coming to you each and every month. If that sounds like something that would be helpful, you can check the link out in the description to schedule a discovery call with our team, and we'll see if it's a fit and the right timing. Otherwise, you should go check out this video.